Hi. Over the years, middle school has taught me a lot about perseverance, responsibility, and making the best out of every situation. Whether it's finding dinosaur bones, balancing school with skiing, or dealing with challenges on trips, I have learned that hard work and determination can get you through tough moments. These are all things I didn't really understand at the beginning of middle school, but over time I've learned them through my own experiences. One experience that really stood out to me happened during a 6th grade trip, when we were looking for fossils. At first, I wasn't trying to find anything important. I was just digging out a little spot for myself to sit down and relax for a bit. I didn't really think anything interesting was going to happen, and I wasn't really focused on finding anything special. Then suddenly I noticed I had uncovered something unusual. At first, I thought it was just a rock, but then I took a closer look, and it turned out to be a dinosaur rib. At first, I couldn't believe it. I remember feeling really excited and shocked because I never thought something like this would happen to me, especially since I wasn't even trying to find anything. When I showed it to my teacher, they told me I had to give it to the experts so they could look at it. Even though I was kind of disappointed I couldn't keep it, I still learned something very special from that experience. It made me realize sometimes really cool things happen when you least expect them to, and small actions can turn something big and meaningful. That moment has always stuck with me because it was so unexpected. Another big part of my life is skiing. I've been a competitive mogul skier for 4 years. I first got into it because a friend introduced it to me. At first, it was just something fun to do, and I didn't take it too seriously. But over time, I started to enjoy it more and more, and it became one of my biggest passions. My first competition was intimidating. There were so many talented skiers there, and I didn't really know what to expect. I remember looking around and comparing myself to everyone there and wondering if I was good enough to be there. It made me really nervous, and I wasn't sure how I would do. Even though I felt that way, I still kept going and tried my best. That experience helped me to build more confidence and realize that everyone feels nervous at first. Over time, I've learned that the only way to improve is to keep trying, even if you feel unsure of yourself. Skiing has taught me a lot more than just how to compete. It has taught me discipline, responsibility, and perseverance. Since I travel a lot for competitions, I sometimes miss school for long periods of time. Missing school can be stressful because when I come back, I have a lot of work to catch up on, and it can feel overwhelming at first. For example, this fall, I left for my first FIS competition in Austria. I knew I was going to fall behind because I had to focus on my skiing, but I didn't really prepare ahead of time. When I came back, I had a lot of work waiting for me, and it felt stressful to catch up on everything all at once. But then again this spring, I left for junior nationals. I learned from that experience. I made sure to plan ahead more, stay organized, and communicate with my teachers when I was gone. That made a big difference, and it showed me how much I can learn from mistakes and improve over time. Because of skiing, I travel alone a lot sometimes. One time I went to Austria for multiple weeks. It was my first time traveling to a different country alone, and it was also my first FIS competition. I was really nervous going into it because I was new, including the place, the people, and the level of competition. There was definitely a few ups and downs during that trip. Some days went really well, and other days went more difficult. But no matter what happened, I kept going and I didn't give up. That experience showed me that I can handle challenges even when I feel uncomfortable or unsure, and it helped me become more independent. Sometimes it feels overwhelming trying to balance skiing and school at the same time. There has been moments when my grades started to slip because I was gone for so long. It can feel stressful to manage everything at once and not fall behind. But instead of giving up, I've learned to work hard and stay focused. I also learned how to manage my time better and not procrastinate as much. Those skills that I know that will help me in the future, not just in middle school. In 6th and 7th grade, I struggled with motivation and asking my teachers for help. I was not always the best at staying on top of all my assignments, and sometimes I fell behind. I didn't always take school as seriously as I should have, and that made things hard for me. But in 8th grade, I started to realize how important school really was. I understood if I wanted to keep skiing competitively, I needed to prove that I could handle my schoolwork well skiing. That became a big motivation for me, and it changed my mindset. Now I try harder to communicate with teachers, make up missing assignments, and stay organized even when I'm traveling. It has been perfect, but I've definitely improved, and I feel more responsible than I ever did. If I had to describe middle school in one word, I would say it's been a roller coaster. There has been so many highs and lows, exciting moments, stressful moments, and times where I had to push through the challenges even when it was difficult. One thing I am proud of is that I've continued to keep good grades while also balancing skiing. That hasn't always been easy for me, and there's been times where I doubted myself. One example of this is when I left for a ski trip for 2.5 weeks. Before I left, I thought I was going to fall really far behind like I did earlier this year. I was worried about all my missing assignments and tests I would miss, and it just felt stressful just thinking about it. But when I came back, I worked hard, caught up on everything, and realized I was capable of more than I thought. That experience showed me how important perseverance is and helped me become more confident in myself. I have also learned from failure and mistakes. One time in Monterey, I left my wet clothes outside overnight because they were soaking wet. The next morning, they were covered in bugs. At the time, it felt really gross and frustrating, but this is something now I can laugh about. Another time, at Ithiostor State Park in 6th grade, I accidentally left my tent door open. Bugs and spiders got everywhere inside my tent. Me and my friends spent over 30 minutes sorting through all our stuff, checking for bugs, and shaking out the tent. It was really annoying at the time, but it taught me to be more careful and pay attention to small details. Through all these experiences, I have learned that challenges are not always a bad thing. Sometimes the hardest or most frustrating moments end up teaching you the biggest lessons. Even if those moments are not fun at the time, they will help you grow. Skiing taught me perseverance because no matter how stressful things got, I still had to stay focused and keep trying. Trips have taught me responsibility because small mistakes can turn into bigger problems. Middle school itself has taught me how to adapt and work through difficult situations instead of giving up. Another thing that helped me grow is music. I've been taking the music class for a long time now. Music has taught me to look at the bigger picture and understand that people can take music as different ways. It showed me that everyone experiences life differently, and the perspective matters. Sometimes music can help people feel understood, motivated, or connected, and I think that is something really important. It's something that also has benefited my life. One character trait that I think will describe me is flexibility. Because I travel for skiing, I often have to adjust my schedule and figure out different ways to make up work. Sometimes that means working harder after school or using my free time to catch up when other people are relaxing. Even though it's been difficult, it has helped me become more independent and responsible. Over time, it has taught me how to handle changes and not get too stressed when things didn't go exactly as planned. Overall, middle school has taught me a lot about perseverance, responsibility, and making the best out of a situation. Whether I'm skiing, catching up on schoolwork, or dealing with unexpected problems on trips, I have learned I have to keep pushing forward. I know high school will bring even more challenges, but I think T has prepared me to handle them. I've learned that success doesn't come from everything going perfectly. It comes from continuing to work hard and not giving up even when things get difficult.